Hi, I'm Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. Today is another deck face-off video where I share 2 to 3 similar style decks in my collection, and we walk through the entire deck comparing images, and I kind of choose which my favorite is if I would happen to read the card differently or things of that nature. So today's 3 decks are 3 collage style decks that are all very similar because they have a black and white element to them, also with bits of color. So the 3 decks are, we have the Rosebud Tarot. This is by Harper and Stillwell. This is the Waite Tarot deck by Michelle Waite. And our 3rd deck is the Relative Tarot by Carrie Paris. Now, the very first one I ever got was this one, the Relative Tarot by Carrie Paris. I have used this deck for different types of readings for myself, ancestor readings, that sort of thing. So I do really like this deck. The Rosebud Tarot, I have not fully worked with, I feel, enough to know it. I did the 78 drop 'em challenge with it. I think I was more frustrated with the challenge than necessarily the card deck, so I don't want to relate the 2 of those together. But I haven't really read with this one, and I feel enough to say, yes, I know it really well. The Waite is the newest one to my collection, and this was really bought on an impulse buy. And while I like some of the imagery on the cards, I did not get the large guidebook that you can purchase separately for this deck that tells you who these people are on this deck. So I don't know who these people are. I do know, or from what I've seen in a walkthrough, that the creator of this deck also put herself into the deck, and I have an issue with that. That is my kind of draw the line in the sand, and I didn't realize it until after I had purchased the deck. Some people don't like certain card stocks, or some people don't like certain imagery. I don't like when people put their own faces into a deck. So I've read with this deck for clients. I'll probably never use it to read for myself because of that. It read fine for clients, but yeah, I don't like that. That's one of my deal breakers. Let's go ahead and get into it. This one, I will say the Waite does have a little bit more coloring maybe than, well, definitely than this one. This one kind of has the collage over little bits of the traditional, overlaid over the traditional card images. So here we have the Fool. I really like this one. This shows the innocence of it with the young child. She's the dog, and she's got her little suitcase there, you know, almost like I'm running away kind of feeling. This is like I'm ready to leap forward, and this one kind of says like a freedom aspect to me, but I like all of these Fools. For the Magician, if you can see here where she is overlaid over top of the original Magician image, which is like right behind her. I think I really do like this Magician the best in this one. I don't really care for this one too much. It looks like I can't even see. I can't even see like all the tools or anything around them. She does not have any tools herself, but the original image has some of those tools visible behind her. So for the High Priestess, that's Pamela Coleman Smith. This is fine. I think all 3 of these High Priestesses are fine in their depiction. I think this is the creator, one image of the creator of the deck. I might be wrong about that. This might be somebody else. I like this Empress the best. You know, where she's not pregnant, but she is nurturing a child. There's just that whole nurture energy around this. With the roses, you can get the element of like growth or aspect of growth to this. You have the little butterfly there, the watering can, you know, water your seeds, that kind of thing. This one is really my favorite. The Emperor, I think, is, all of them are pretty equal for me. The Hierophant, again, these are real people. I don't know who they are. This Hierophant, though, is my favorite. I love that it's called the Professor. That gives you that aspect of learning from someone, but, you know, you could challenge what you're learning also, you know, with questions and that sort of thing. So this one is my favorite of these three. The Lovers. I know this deck has, and I'm pretty sure this one does too, multiple Lovers cards that you can pick for whichever one you like the best. All the Lovers are fine. The Chariot. I like this Chariot, but this Chariot is my favorite because I don't know if you could see, but she's got the little black cat and the little like white tabby cat right there. It's so funny, but she's driving down the road. This really shows that movement. You're in control because she's in that vehicle and everything. I really do. This is my favorite Chariot card. Strength. I adore this Strength card. Although every time I see it, I want to call it the Empress card because she's pregnant in it. I really do. I just think this is stunning, but all three of these Strength cards are okay. They all kind of represent the same thing, that inner strength. None of them are like overpowering that lion or anything, so I like that aspect. This Hermit right here really does speak to that inner reflection for me. There's just something about that image. She just seems so indifferent about the whole thing. And this one, I don't really like this Seeker. I love Wheel of Fortunes that show a different take on the cards. So this one is your more, I guess, traditional wheel. These two are my favorite Wheel of Fortunes. I really do enjoy this one. That has the dice showing that things are left up to chance, a roll of the dice with tickets, and the carousel. And the carousel shows the upright and the upside down carousel. So sometimes you're up here riding high on life, and sometimes you're down here hanging on for dear life, trying not to fall off your horse. I really do love the depiction in this. And this one, even though he's in this frame, if you can see, his hand is reaching out and around this wheel so he can grab it and spin it. And so is fate left up to him? You know, is he the one in charge of that wheel, sort of? Is he like kind of holding it steady in place right now? So I really do enjoy these two Wheel of Fortunes immensely. Justice. We have the two balance scales, but then this scale is off balance, kind of like the other deck Face Off where the one was off balance. In that, this one really shows that actions cause consequences, tipping the scale kind of thing. So I do like that. Hanged Man, Hanged One, and the Hang Up. This really shows difference in perspective because she's got a pit of crocodiles or alligators down here, and she's trying to balance her way through that. Maybe she needs to, I'm not going to get out the guidebooks or anything, but you know, maybe she needs to keep her eyes forward so she's not focused on the pitfall of the whole situation, I guess. Maybe this one is the creator of the deck. I can't remember which card was which, but I don't like this death card. This death card is fine. It's, they're over like a, looks like a stone figure here on that bed. And then, you know, this almost looks like she's conquered death. With the skull underneath her foot. So that's kind of an interesting take on it. This with the butterfly and that really does show the transformation after something dies away. You know, with you've got the roots here and the new growth and that sort of thing. I really do enjoy the depiction of this one. I don't like this one. Temperance. I like the card Alchemy. It really shows that element. I know these are the mixing together also, but this kind of really puts you in that mindset because she's in like a kitchen area of mixing things together to create the perfect balance, like you're trying to create the perfect balance in a meal or that sort of thing. So this one is really my favorite. The devil. I think all the devils are okay. I kind of do like this devil right here, and I like this one. This one is just meh for me. This is the only tower that does not show someone falling out of it. This tower is just so-so. I think I really like this tower card better. This one isn't bad. Here at the top, is that a crown? I think that might be a crown being knocked off the top of that tower. But this one is my favorite. It really shows the rocky foundation, the cracks in the foundation that is causing this tower to tip over. I think all three of these star cards are lovely. I like all three of them. She has the crab right here. You can barely see the sketch of the original card behind her, and she has the two dogs. I think that's a crab on the... Oh no, that's a face. Sorry, that's a face of the like a man in the moon. I will say with the Night Waite moon card, it really puts you in mind of the high priestess almost. Just with her, the way she's sitting in that chair, kind of like with the expression that she may know something, that maybe intuitive aspect of it all. She is like, looks like she's like living her best life here with the way that she is sitting on this moon. So maybe that could lean to the thoughts of like delusional fantasy. She is looking here at the man in the moon, maybe like he is going to solve or make her dreams come true. Not solve, make her dreams come true or something like that. I think all the moons are beautiful, but they don't, you know, I'm not really thrilled with one image over the other. I kind of like this sun. I do not like this one. And this one is really funny with them like climbing the ladder to the sun. I think that's hysterical. So Judgment card is my least favorite card in any tarot deck. I cannot stand the Judgment cards in the tarot. This is more your traditional, same thing with this one. This one, Emergence, kind of shows that transformation that you've come to, but I don't really get the whole point of these mushrooms, and I don't know. I don't really like that image, so I would really gravitate more towards the traditional images here. And then the World card, which, you know, all of them are fine. So we have our traditional wands image here. This is kind of on the traditional side too, but this really shows that element of fire. I have to say, out of the Two of Wands, I like this Two of Wands and I like this Two of Wands, where this person is here standing in front of like a map. They've got something in their hand. The plane, like where's your future? Where are you going? Where do you want to head out into? You really need to start thinking about that. And the same thing with her, like holding the, is this the World? I think that's the World she's holding in her hand of, you know, where do I want to go from here? What's my future going to look like? What plan do I need to start putting in place? This one is like really boring to me. I don't mind any of these Three of Wands cards. This one, though, kind of shows me that the journey's already completed. I mean, there he is on Mars or, you know, the moon or whatever. So it's like he's already completed the journey, and that's not how I see the Three of Wands. You've now started it. You've now moved forward. You're done with those planning stages of the twos, and you're getting ready to move forward. That's kind of what I get with him, and his arms wide open is like, I have everything available to me. I'm ready to go. But this one kind of gives you that element of completion, and that's not how I see it. So the Four of Wands, both of these are very similar. They have that whole, this kind of represents a home base to me. This one with the four boys here gives you that celebration aspect of this Four of Wands, something small to celebrate, whatever that may be. But this one with these crystals gives you that really the foundation that you're building, that you're putting together, you know, to have that stability. Five of Wands crack me up. I don't know what these five girls are doing because I really see the Five of Wands is that competition, that challenge against each other, not getting along with one another sort of thing. And that's kind of what I get here with these two, especially since they're black and white, both opposite of each other, opposing ideas, and they're going to challenge each other over it. And this one just cracks me up. It's hysterical. He's singing, and they're all plugging their ears in some way because they just don't want to hear it. So these ones are my favorite. I don't care for this five at all. I like these two Six of Wands. I'm not really sure. I think this is a snake hanging here. I'm not really sure what that snake is supposed to represent. If somebody knows, you can let me know. But, you know, the victory aspect can be seen in all of those. I think this seven is kind of my favorite. I don't know. I don't really like this seven. I do like this one where she is standing there proud, you know, knowing that she's standing up for what she believes in. These are my two favorite Eight of Wands. This one is just that blah, Eight Wands. This one shows that he is actually like in charge of that energy. He is the one sending it out, and he is riding that wave to see how he can continue to direct it in the trajectory that he wants it to go. This Eight of Fire over here puts me in mind of that chaotic Eight of Wands energy. And I really do see the Eight of Wands, depending on what kind of reading I'm doing, as either this, where you have sent it out and are in charge of it, whether it's coming at you, or whether it's you're in a total bag of chaos, basically. And that's kind of what this one is, because they're all going in different directions. So instead of them being focused, so when the starter gun goes off to start the race, they are headed in all different directions. That's exactly how I would read this if this card had come out in a reading. So the Nine of Wands is about not giving up yet, and that's kind of what this says to me. However, this one shows that she just needs that little bit of a break. Yes, there's been a storm or whatever that she's facing and she's going through, but she just needs that moment to breathe, to get her composure back together and to continue forward. This one doesn't show, it just is that go, go, go aspect. You know, you're almost at the bottom. Don't stop going now. Keep on until you finish. And this one, it really doesn't speak much to me. I don't know. It's just, I feel like she's running away from something with the way this is depicted here. So we have the Ten of Wands, and this really shows me that struggle and that strife of carrying the load. This one doesn't really say much to me, and this one is where would see this one as where you're placing the burden on somebody else. So images really play a big role for me in my readings. That's exactly how I would see that, is, you know, what kind of burden are you putting on others? Because they have this poor, I think this is a horse here, loaded down with so much. And the page, I think they're all, I guess, fine. I don't really care for these ones. I do like this page more. I like these two Knight of Wands because they show that action. They're ready to go. They're headed off. This one shows no action to it. I like this Queen because it really shows that she is ready for an adventure. She's really in charge of her life here. I don't know what this queen is doing at all. And this one doesn't say much to me. I don't mind any of these kings. I like all these kings, but he is really my favorite because adventure isn't his middle name. Adventure is his first name. He likes to be on the go. He likes to challenge himself to go and try new things. So this is really my favorite King of Wands. So now we're on to the cups. This is doesn't do anything for me. Those Ace of Cups, the Two of Water or Two of Cups, I think they're all okay. This kind of shows that duality here, the sharing of almost, you know, with the way that they are dressed here. This really shows that companionship and partnership aspect to it. The Three of Wands, or Three of Cups, I'm sorry. I really like this Three of Cups that really shows that fun celebration with each other. This one literally cracks me up. They all look so irritated, but they almost look like sisters in this three. And this three, you know, they're here together watering this field. This is still in black and white, but back here is, you know, all in full color. So as they water and nurture and do things together, they're nurturing each other, that sort of thing. That's what gives me that vibe with that card. So the Four of Cups, I like this Four of Cups. I don't mind this one. I don't really care for this one so much, but this gives you that aspect of, you know, not being able to see or being bored with what you already have kind of thing. So the Five of Cups. I kind of like this Five of Cups. I like the aspect that, you know, there's all this flood here. So it's almost like you're drowning in your sorrows. They're all shrouded midst of their grief, I guess. And this one shows her looking off, but she has these butterfly wings behind her. So maybe she's in the process of transforming her loss into something. So the Six, I think all three of these are sweet and give that nostalgia aspect to the card. The Seven of Cups, I don't like the Seven of Cups at all. So I'm going to have to say these two are my favorite and more along the traditional side of the card. The Eight of Cups, I think these are all pretty traditional in their imagery. The Nine, I like her. I just like her facial expression. Look, she's happy. She knows she has a good life. She's content with where she is. Same thing with her. But this shows her with like money and jewels and, you know, that sort of thing. So is that what's bringing her emotional happiness? And this, I really like this one because it just shows that she is also happy and content, you know, where she is in life. The Ten of Cups, I like all three of these. It's so funny, this Page of Cups with his head off of his off of his body. I kind of like these two Knight of Cups better than this one. These court cards, they're just so for me in the Rosebud. She looks like a miserable queen. I don't know what could say more than that. With her facial expression, she just seems indifferent to the whole thing, where she is like embracing the cup here, looking out. She's surrounded by, it looks like rose quartz, brings in that aspect kind of self-love. And this queen here is underwater. This really shows how in touch with the water element that this queen really is. She's got the turtle there. Oh, it looks like she's a mermaid. I don't really like any of these kings at all for the cup suit. So And then we have the Pentacles, our traditional Pentacles, and this Ace of Earth really shows that growth aspect. I kind of, I mean, you could see here that there's a juggling aspect to this, but I really like this one, and I do like that shows that imbalance where you're trying to, you know, handle multiple things at once. So the 3, this really shows the working together, this shows the working together, and this does not. This does not show that like collaborative aspect to the 3 of Pentacles, maybe taking advice from someone and getting input from others in regards to a project of some sort. And these kids are like all working together here, playing like Ring Around the Rosie almost. If you look, this is the exact same image with different hats. It's the exact same image, down to everything, except she has like a top hat on and she just has like a headdress on. I love this 4 of Pentacles. She's at the beach, but she has all her comforts and everything with her. Her towel, all her books, not just one book, all her books. Her suntan lotion, her bottle of vodka, her plant. She has all these comforts with her. And I say she's at the beach because you can see the palm trees, like maybe a possible resort in the background. It looks like someone's back here in bathing suits. So, you know, yeah, okay, so she's going to step out a little bit, but she's bringing all her comforts of home with her too. These ones really show that hoarding aspect of the 4 of Pentacles. The 5 of Earth, I guess I can't really tell what this image is. This image is so hard to make out what is going on in this. I think the boat is dry docked. I think that's what this represents. I'm not sure, but this really is more on the traditional side of it. The 6 of Pentacles, this kind of shows the give and take energy with each other. This, I don't know, what is this supposed to be? If this is supposed to be, you know, that 6 of Pentacles is lending a helping hand, but this doesn't show any of that. I don't like this one at all. And this one, you know, where they're playing and, you know, waiting for someone to give them some sort of coins now for the music that they just played. The 7 of Pentacles, kind of reevaluating. This one's okay. This one's okay. This one shows the boys. They've got all these flowers to go through, but, you know, is there maybe a better way that they could go about doing this? I really like this 8 of Pentacles where she is teaching the little girl trade, I guess. This is just, I don't know what he's doing here. Because it doesn't really show him working on his skills or anything. He's just standing there. And this one's kind of on the traditional side. I really enjoy this 9 of Pentacles. I like this 9 of Pentacles also. This one, what is that? A parakeet, I think there. I think this one is a falcon there. And this one actually looks like a hummingbird with the way the beak is. But, you know, you've got this lush estate behind them, you know, that opulence. The 10, these two kind of show the legacy aspect of the 10 of Pentacles. I don't know what is happening here in this 10 of Pentacles. I guess coming over the finish line, making a leap, sort of. I don't know. This one doesn't make any sense to me. This one really shows not, because it's the Page of Earth, not having the right tools for the job just yet, because you're really not sure. And she's trying to use an axe to just trim back roses. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is really about that slow going and that stable person. But yet you've got this one riding a bull, jumping over a pot. This one's horse is rearing up in the background. Unlike this Knight of Pentacles, who is there just waiting for the moment, taking his time, thinking about things. I really don't like these two Knights. I like this one the best. I get it that, it's a slow going thing because she's on a cattle drive. So cattle drives are slow going to get them from point A to point B. But I don't know. I don't like the aspect of that bull. I think this is a really sweet queen. The other queens are also fine. And I think all three of these King of Pentacles are fine also. So we have our last comparison suit here. And this is swords. And for swords, it shows shears here in the Rosebud Tarot. All three of these, wait, is she blindfolded? Yes, I guess so. But her blindfold looks very sheer. But all three of these have a traditional aspect of, she has actually dropped her sheer here. So maybe she is not as in tune with her inner self as she needs. Or maybe it's the complete opposite. She realizes that she doesn't need that sheer, that, she knows exactly what she needs to do. So she let go of it. I mean, you could look at it like that. I like all three of these three of swords because it's different. It's not just the heart being pierced like right here, and he has that one sword through his head. So it really shows, and this one kind of crosses his heart area. So that really shows that aspect of how much turmoil this is causing in his mind. That's where the real agony of the whole thing is. I don't like this one. This one really does show the sadness of the Three of Swords. So I do like this one here too. So our Four of Swords. This all shows an element of rest. I think I like these two the best. This one is just okay. And we're down to our last few cards here. So we have the Five of Swords. What does it say on her? I think it says votes for women on her thing. These both show the aspect of taking something from someone and, them being left out in the process of it. This one, where it's kind of like a father over top of his two boys here. So that really shows that like overbearing aspect of the Five of Swords. So I really do like all three of these. I like these Six of Swords. This one I guess is okay. The six shears are laid out in front of them. So maybe they're dreaming of where they want to go in the future, but this doesn't show the element of you have started to move away from a situation. This kind of gives me that element of I'm dreaming about moving away from this situation. I do not know what is happening here. Oh, you can barely see it. It blends in. You have two foxes right here. That shows that cunning nature of the Seven of Swords. This really shows like that sneaky side. Something's, not telling the truth, not being, on the up and up. I don't know what this person is doing here. It looks like they're dancing. I don't know what crystal that's supposed to be, though, that they're standing on. I wish this one didn't have to have a separate guidebook. I don't understand why everything could have just been put in the little white book. I don't know why there had to be a larger book that had to be bought with that. And I wasn't doing it. The Eight of Swords, I don't like this one. These two give you that traditional Eight of Swords. The Nine, this one looks like she is waking up from this, this grief, this anxiety, this worry. And is she coming out of it, or did she grab a hold of that sword and she's like screaming, kind of, thing. So you can kind of read this in different ways. The 10, I think all three of these 10s have, their take to the meaning. This shows, that real feeling of being down and out in the whole situation. This is, almost like a life and death situation here. This looks like a hospital thing that looks like a hospital bag that someone has right there. And then I guess this is supposed to be like those swords are pushing him down onto that table there. Oh my God, this is so funny. Him with that sword swallowing to that card. That's hysterical. I like that all three of these pages are very young. Now, none of these show that movement aspect of the Knight of Swords. None of them. So I don't really care for any of these depictions. I really like this queen. I think this is my favorite queen. I don't mind her. This puts me almost in mind of Queen Victoria a little bit here. But I don't mind her at all. I guess this one's okay. She's got the fox with her, shows that cunning nature and everything here. And finally here we have the King of Swords, and they're just all okay. I can't say one of them stands out. I like this one, I guess because he's depicted as older, therefore wiser, maybe. This is like an older person too. This king seems like he came into it too early in his life almost. And it almost feels like the knowledge in that is a burden on him. I mean, that's at least what I get looking at that. So I am really curious as to what you thought of these three decks. I'd really like to know if you own any of these decks, or do you own all three of them? What is your take on them? Did you like one over the other? There was a mixture for me. I like cards in each of them. I can't even say that I liked one deck more than the other. Each of them had their own unique spin on some of the cards, and I do enjoy that. So I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. After seeing the three of these together, do you feel that one would suffice, that you wouldn't need like all three in your collection? Do you feel like each one does its own sort of thing, or they're too similar in some way? I'd love to hear that discussed in the comments below. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you being here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It continues to help my channel grow. And until I see you next time, bye.